After the quartz crisis from 1980s, large conglomerates and competitors alike saw these prestigious brands with long legacies and pedigree that were there for the taking, paralyzed by poor cash income and ever-growing accumulated debt. And you have certainly heard by now that some of the most iconic watch brands were bought by these financial behemoths. These companies need to be mentioned since they own an enormous portion of the world watch market. Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy Group was founded in 1988 by Bernard Arnault, who not only controlled some of the biggest brands in watches, but also high fashion and beverages as well. LVMH was formed through the merge between Louis Vuitton and Moet Hennessy, with roughly 60 subsidiaries at present, of which just 7 are watch brands. Most notably are Bulgari, Hublot, Tag Heuer, Zenith, and most recently Tiffany & Co. Richemont Company, one of the largest companies on the Swiss market index, founded by Johann Rupert in 1988. Richemont was essentially a business with a dedicated focus on luxury goods. In a series of complex acquisitions and holdings between 1988 and 1989, Richemont acquired a majority stake in Rothmans Group, which included Cartier, Montblanc, Bon & Mercier, Piaget, and several other luxury brands. In comparison to the Swatch Group and LVMH, Richemont's appetite for acquisitions was much stronger. In the 1990s, they acquired both Vacheron Constantin in 1996 and Panerai in 1997. Just years later, in 2000, Richemont acquired Jaeger-LeCoultre, IWC, and Alain Guesonne, before purchasing Fabrique d'Horlogerie Minerva in 2006, securing some long-standing manufacturing prowess. Minerva, or Minerva, was a tiny company with just 22 employees at the time. They specialized in the development and manufacturing of high-end mechanical movements. This purchase ultimately led to a partnership with Montblanc. The Swatch Group. In March 1983, the two biggest Swiss watch groups, General Swiss Watch Industry and Swiss Society for the Watch Industry, merged to form the SMH in order to save the industry after the quartz crisis. This organization was the predecessor of the Swatch Group, which would be instrumental in reviving the Swiss watch industry, giving a new bill of health to all brands concerned. In 1998, it was renamed the Swatch Group, the largest watch manufacturer in the world. Lebanese entrepreneur Nicolas G. Hayek, together with a group of Swiss investors, took over a majority shareholding of Swatch during 1985 in newly consolidated group. Nicolas Hayek's son Nick Hayek took over as chief executive of the Swatch Group in 2003. The Hayek family is still the largest shareholder in Swatch Group. The Swatch Group is the most powerful company in the Swiss watch industry due to the many components makers it owns. Thanks above all to ETA, its movement production company, the Swatch Group is far and away the top supplier of watch movements to the Swiss industry. According to the 2013 annual report, the Swatch Group has 184 subsidiary companies. It also owns the Nivarox FA, the top supplier of hairsprings. The Swatch Group is the world's largest watch company and employs about 36,000 people in 50 different countries. The group owns the Swatch product line and other luxury brands, including such watchmaking renowned names as Blancpain, Breguet, Omega, Harry Winston, Certina, ETA, Glashütte Original, Hamilton, Longines, Maido, Rado, and Tissot. The Soint Group. Kering is a large Paris-based group with focus on fashion and retail. Formerly known as PPR, the publicly traded company changed its name in 2013. The Kering has been building its watch business steadily over the last few years, with owning Ulysse Nardin, Girard-Perregaux, Jean Richard, Gucci, Boucheron, Bottega Veneta. In 2012, it purchased the Soint Group, consisting of Girard-Perregaux and Jean Richard. Soint makes Swiss mechanical movements, which appeared in Gucci watches for the first time in 2013. Another significant acquisition came when Kering bought the Swiss watch brand Ulysse Nardin. In January 2022, the luxury conglomerate Kering announced a management buyout of its stake in Soint Group, the Switzerland-based collective that owns the legacy watch brands Girard-Perregaux and Ulysse Nardin, in a deal organized by the brand's CEO, Patrick Pruniot. Patrick Pruniot now manages the brands independently. Gérard Perregaux and sister mason Ulysses Nardin now form an independent collective of high horology manufacturers. The Seiko Group. The Seiko Group is a massive, publicly held conglomerate that makes many types of products. It consists of Seiko Epson and Seiko Holdings, having in mind that Seiko Epson is managed and operated completely independently from Seiko Holdings. Founded in 1881 by Kintaro Hattori in Tokyo, Seiko introduced the world's first commercial quartz wristwatch in 1969. Therefore made its glorious entrance at the world watch stage, making a bit of a rattle underway, basically creating the quartz crisis. Current CEO from the year of 2012 to present is Shinji Hattori. Seiko and Rolex are the only two watch companies considered to be vertically integrated, meaning that the supply chain of a company is integrated and owned by that company. The watch business, Seiko Watch Corporation, is part of Seiko Holdings. Seiko Group includes Seiko, Grand Seiko, Credor, Pulsar, Loris, Alba and Orion. Seiko Epson produces some components and it's the parent company of Orient Watch Company. Seiko produces all the components used in both its mechanical and its quartz watches. While it is known primarily for the Seiko brand of watches, the group also makes high-end mechanicals under the Grand Seiko and a variety of offerings throughout its other brands. Seiko Holding Corporation employs about 12,000 people. Rolex Company SA. Among all of these famous groups, we really need to mention Rolex, and in a minute you'll realize why. Rolex SA is a Swiss watch designer and manufacturer based in Geneva, founded in 1905 as Wilsdorf and Davis by Hans Wilsdorf and Alfred Davis in London. The company registered Rolex as the brand name of its watches in 1908 and became Rolex Watch Company Ltd. Wilsdorf and his first wife Florence had no children. In 1945, Wilsdorf established the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. In 1960, he gave his 100% ownership stake in Rolex to the foundation. The Hans Wilsdorf Foundation still owns and controls Rolex and donates much of its income to charity and social causes in Geneva. As such, there is no requirement to disclose financial or charitable donations under the law, and the company pays no corporate taxes as a result of being owned by the foundation. Rolex has named Nicolas Brunswick as chairman, placing the scion of a Geneva family that runs high-end fashion department stores in a little publicized personnel change. Rolex current chief executive officer is Jean-Frédéric Dufour. He was appointed in 2014 after a highly successful 5-year tenure as a CEO of Zenith Watches, part of LMVH, helping the brand to quickly recover from tough conditions brought on by the 2008 financial crash. Rolex Company offers products under the Rolex and Tudor brands. Tudor has designed, manufactured and marketed Tudor watches since the 6th of March in 1946. Rolex founder Hans Wilsdorf conceived the Tudor to create the product for authorized Rolex dealers to sell, that offer the reliability and dependability of a Rolex, but at a lower price. The number of Rolex watches was limited by the rate that they could produce in-house Rolex movements. Thus, Tudor watches were originally equipped with a third-party standard movement supplied by ETA, while using Rolex quality cases and bracelets. Since 2015, Tudor has begun to manufacture watches with in-house movements. In 2024, by the share of the market, Rolex is firmly at the top and exceeds the next 4 top sellers, Cartier, Omega, Audemars Piguet and Patek Philippe in total. In fact, if you combine Rolex and Tudor, it is the bigger seller than entire Swatch Group. Today, these conglomerates play a more vital role than ever in the world of watchmaking, as they ensure the continuation of the history that we all love and cherish, and help bring the horology to more people than ever before.